Welcome to footballgameplan.com, where football makes sense. That's Emery Hunt, the Zarda Playbook, and I'm Tyler Merkovich, bringing you our 2010 season preview for the Chicago Bears. Coming off a 7-9 year, they started off hot at 3-1, and then the floor just caved in on them last year. Of course, Jay Cutler led the league in interceptions, 29th rushing offense. That O-line had all kinds of problems, but Jay Cutler has a couple of backups in Caleb Henney, and now they bring in Dan Lefevre. Running back position to spark Forte a little bit, and that offensive line, they signed Chester Taylor for big money. So it's Forte and Chester Taylor as the running backs, and of course Jay Cutler. So talk about that trio.
Well, that offense, they run an Eric Coryell type offense with Mike Barr, so he's going to help out Cutler tremendously. Cutler cuts down those interceptions to at least 12. This is a playoff team because that killed a lot of offensive drives.
Oh yeah, and their red zone offense was atrocious, 27th in the league, 47%.
Yeah, and Cutler is the main reason that you see the San Francisco game, he threw an interception in the red zone. But
Atlanta game also, Sunday Night Football. Woo!
And with Forte back there, running back, Forte was injured most of the season, so that's why he didn't look as quick as he normally did as a rookie. And
didn't utilize him in the passing game too much either.
Right, because he wasn't as healthy. But now you get a healthy Forte, you bring in Chester Taylor, a guy that can catch the football in the backfield
and block very well.
And can also run. And also Khalil Hill showed me a little something when he got some playing time.
Khalil Bell,
I'm sorry, out of UCLA, came in, provided a spark, bust along running that game against Packers. So that's something to watch too. So now they have 3 running backs. If all guys can stay healthy, the Bears on that end, the battery with the quarterback and running back gonna look fine.
Well, before we get to an underrated wide receiver unit, let's talk about that mighty, vital offensive line. They need to block in this Mike Mark system. Of course, Chris Williams is finally healthy. First-round draft pick out of Vanderbilt a couple of years ago. Left tackle Josh Beekman starts at left guard, and they bring back 2 very veteran players, old players, but they're still pretty productive. And Olin Cruz and Roberto Garza at right guard. Frank Omiyale at the right tackle position. So before we get to the receivers, can this O-line hold up? Because if it can, they can be very scary on offense.
That's the big question. Left guard is the question mark. You look at with Josh Beekman, he may be better at center, I think. So that's one thing they have to really get in order. Garza and Cruz are up there in age, so you wonder about their athletic ability now at this point in their career. But I think Chris Williams is a stud. Left tackle, healthy. He's going to be fine. Protect Cutler's blind side. That's going to be important, especially if you feel yourself getting too much pressure from that blind side. That's why they bring in tight ends to block as well, to help chip. So I think Chris Williams is going to be fine. If they can get the health back in order with that O-line, the running game is going to follow. Then the passing game is going to excel. Then you're going to have a better Bears offense.
Well, speaking of tight ends, will Greg Olsen be as involved as he was in the last couple of years in a Mike Martz system? They signed Brandon Manumaliluna. I know they don't use him in the passing game, but he does a lot of the little things great. Wide receiver, Devin Aromashu really came on last couple of games. Johnny Knox, great year out of a small college. Devin Hester still really acclimating to that position. Earl Bennett, the possession guy who was teammates with Cutler at Vanderbilt, he's a pretty good possession guy. So when it comes to their receiving threats, they're there, I think.
I like their receivers. They all can catch the football with their hands. Johnny Knox is explosive. Hester is explosive. Aromashu catches the ball in the clutch. So that's fine. I like their wide receivers. And Earl Bennett is a steady.
Let me throw something out there. Terrell Owens.
No.
I know it's early in the season. No, not a good fit.
Terrell Owens.
You wouldn't sign him.
No, but undrafted free agent Freddie Barnes is out of Bowling Green, a guy that caught everything for the Falcons. That's one player that's going to make this squad, I believe, as an undrafted free agent. Freddie Barnes does not drop a
guy out of Bowling Green.
Yes, sir.
So he's available also. Let's go to the defensive side of the ball. Rod Marinelli taking over. Of course, we knew his last stop a couple years ago was in Detroit, but the big signing is Julius Peppers. He's only 30 years old, but he's really productive when he wants to be. He lacks a little, like on the 70th, 60th play, he won't be as strong on the first play, of course, but he's still one of the best defensive ends in the league. They let go of 2 defensive ends, Agunliwe and Alex Brown. So Mark Anderson, who had that huge rookie year, is going to get a full-time starting job. Tommy Harris in the middle, Anthony Adams, Marcus Harrison going for the nose tackle position. Did they improve this defensive line?
I think so. You mentioned Peppers. Peppers by itself, that's 10 to 12 sacks guaranteed. Wooten is a guy you want to look out for, the rookie out of Northwestern, a guy, if he's healthy he's going to be a troublesome player to block for opposing offenses.
Out of Don Bosco Prep over there in New Jersey.
And out of a small program in Northwestern, coached by a great guy in Pat Fitzgerald. Also, you look at, I like Anthony Adams over Harrison. I think Adams brings it each and every play. That's somebody you will want to start. And Tommy Harris, if he's completely healthy, he has to regain that form back that he had back in 08. He just doesn't have that explosiveness that we used to see out of Harris. But I think they did improve this D-line. This D-line going to look tremendous this year as opposed to last year. Anderson needs to regain that rookie form.
Well, linebackers were riddled by injuries last year. Urlacher and Pisa, Tino Samoa go down in one game. Really hurt their season, but Lance Briggs stepped up. Now Urlacher and Tino Samoa are healthy. Nick Roach was one of the players who stepped up last year. Hunter Hillenmeyer, they still have also. So when it comes to their linebackers, that's strong when healthy. Cornerbacks, they let go of Nathan Vasher, but they have Charles Tillman and Zachary Bowman, two big physical corners. Corey Graham as a nickel, and Tim Jennings they pick up from Indianapolis. And in the secondary, I think they pick up an underrated guy in strong safety, Chris Harris from Carolina. Al Alfa-Lava will back him up. He had some time last year. Daniel Manning, free safety, but they draft Major Wright as one of their first picks overall out of Florida. So this secondary is pretty underrated.
Yeah, I think the secondary is going to look better this year. I like that matchup, that pickup with Harris. And also watch out the battle for nickel cornerback between the second-year cornerback DJ Moore and also Tim Jennings, a guy that I like out of Georgia. So Tim Jennings and Moore is going to battle for that nickel spot. You know Charles Tillman, UL Lafayette, Raging Cajun, is holding his own down there. Former teammate of mine, outstanding corner, and can help out at run support. But safety spot also, Major Wright was an excellent pick. He may end up as a starter before the year's over. I like him a lot. Jump back to the linebacking crew. If I was to get in a fight in the back alley, I'm taking the Chicago Bears linebacker as a whole. All three of those guys can really physical. They can run, hit. Hunter Hillenmeyer had an outstanding year last year, coming in, filling in for those guys that were injured. Roach is an outstanding player. Briggs is a star, and
they need to stop the run, and they probably will, though.
Yeah, they're going to stop it. With the help.
They were 23rd last year, 126.
With the help, with the additions of the D-line, the strength of the D-line, they're going to do fine with stopping the run. And you know, Mr. Urlacher is a future Hall of Fame in my book.
Well, Tommy Harris step up also. That defense has a lot of promise. Who knows about the depth, though? So if they stay healthy, they can really make noise. Special teams, Dave Taub leads the special teams unit. Robbie Gold, I think he's a very solid kicker out of Penn State. Punters, Brad Maynard, not the strongest foot, but very good at directional kicking. Kick return, Daniel Manning, and maybe they could put punt return, Devin Hester back there. They were 3rd in kick returns, 15th in punt returns, so an okay unit. Maybe since they have Knox and all these other guys, they could use Hester back there and get him back to his great days of return.
Yeah, any person you pick back there is explosive. Hester, Knox, or Manning, pick your poison there, explosive. And Robbie Gould is pretty much automatic. And I always like Brad Maynard out of Ball State. I've always liked him a lot.
Lovie Smith, this is it for him. Like a lot of other coaches, kind of reminds me of the Marvin Lewis situation a couple of years ago or last year. So this could be a make or break year for Smith. And it was weird because when Mike Martz is the head coach in St. Louis, Lovie Smith was the defensive coordinator. Now Lovie Smith's the head coach and Mike Martz is his offensive coordinator. So hopefully, for Mike Martz's sake, that offensive line stays intact and that offense gets going.
Cutler cuts down the interceptions. Bears compete for the playoff spot. That's the key. Because if he cuts down the interceptions, they're going to run the football well. The O-line is healthy. So cut down the interceptions, the Bears will be fine.
And they're going to be in the NFC North, which I think might surpass the NFC East as the best football conference.
Correct.
In division in the conference. For more, visit footballgameplan.com/NFL or check out our YouTube page at youtube.com/footballgameplan.